Coming up on the Northwestern News Report. Police reaching out, decreasing gang violence in the city of Evanston.
Catching the CTA, a new way for Northwestern students to get around for free.
And how one Northwestern alum is making a name for herself on stage. All those stories and more.
Coming up next on the Northwestern News Report. It's your news right now.
Families that live in the surrounding areas, and we just have that close relationship with the community.
Police are stepping up community engagement efforts after violence rocked the West Side last month. That's our top story tonight. Hello and welcome to this year's first edition of the Northwestern News Report. I'm Orko Manna.
And I'm Tal Axelrod. Residents are reeling from recent violence between two gangs on Evanston's West Side. 3 homicides and 90 shootings rocked the town this year, including 11 last month alone. I went on a ride with the Evanston police to take a look at their new community engagement efforts.
A lot of kids can come in here and get, treats and stuff once they get out of school.
This is just one of the many visits Officer Adam Howard makes in a new effort by Evanston police to prevent gang shootings. Authorities implemented a gun recovery task force, a community engagement team, increased foot patrols, and a 24-hour gun buyback program. Officer Howard says the tensions between the gangs are high, and social media is driving them even higher.
A lot of times they go on social media, and I would like to, they kind of, flex their muscles a little bit and, talk about the other gang.
To fight against the hate, Officer Howard goes into the community to create positive relationships.
Thank you. See, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Gigi Giles, owner of Ebony's Barbershop, thinks a positive police presence in the city is critical.
We have some good black police officers that are willing to come into the barbershop and just be. That's what it's about.
Till and BZ are Evanston musicians trying to spread a message of peace, but remember frustrating encounters with the police.
Like we can't stand on the earth or something.
Right. You've got some cops that'll be cool about you sitting and standing right here. Then you get some cops that want to grab you up because you're looking at them funny.
Evanston Mayor Elizabeth Tisdale says this lack of trust can hurt efforts to reduce crime.
The community has to tell the police what they know, but they have to feel safe doing it.
To supplement police efforts, Tisdale implemented a jobs program that now provides over 600 opportunities for employment.
We do have jobs for people, that is helpful, but no, it's not solving it all.
Mark Walsh of the Illinois Council Against Handgun Violence believes the two-pronged approach of police activity and job opportunities is a step in the right direction.
It has to be both from the community approach as well as the law enforcement approach.
Walsh believes the city must offer its residents alternatives to a life of crime.
Nothing stops a bullet like a job. And it's not just jobs and education, but it's having opportunities.
Evanston officials say the next step to curb gun violence is increased cooperation with the state attorney to charge individuals already involved in shootings.
Thanks to a new partnership with the CTA, Northwestern students can now travel to popular destinations for free. Students can show their wildcards to board the CTA's 201 bus at no cost now until June. The 201 bus route replaced the Ryan Field shuttle and includes stops at Ryan Field, the Evanston Business District, and Westfield Old Orchard Shopping Mall. Some Northwestern students feel that this change shows progress toward more accessible transportation.
I take the L a lot, and it's really convenient and useful, but I find I'm always putting more money on my Venture card. So if we had a universal pass, that would be really great, but I think, making the 201 free for Northwestern students is a step in the right direction, definitely.
The 201 bus route is now on the Double Map app, along with Northwestern-operated shuttles.
And if you're commuting in the Chicagoland area, there's an app for that. According to transit officials, a new Venture app will launch this fall. The app's release was originally scheduled for late spring of this year, but was delayed because of technical problems. The Venture app will offer CTA and Metro riders notifications, Metro mobile ticketing, transit information, and other useful services. Eventually, the app will also allow CTA and Pace riders to pay their fares with their phones.
Paying with your phone would definitely make it easier, especially if they show you your balance as you swipe in. And with just kind of the move towards phone-based payments, like with Apple Wallet, it's kind of following that trend too, which makes everything easier. You only have one thing to carry.
There's not yet an official release date for the app, but the CTA expects to unveil it soon. We'll keep you updated.
Feinberg professor Alice Drager resigned in late August after what she says is the school's failure to address her concerns about censorship. In 2014, the school pulled an article from a faculty magazine in which the author described a sexual encounter with a nurse. After realizing the censorship would not be acknowledged, Drager remarked that, quote, "Good social policy depends on knowing what is true about the world, even if what we find to be true is uncomfortable or unpopular." The university declined to comment.
Coming up, how the results of one survey are changing policies on campus.
I'm Matthews Dunn, and coming up, I'll have your 5-day weather forecast.
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
At Northwestern, we're wildcats in every way.
Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Why spend your entire life looking for some on-ramp to the road to opportunity when there's already a well-traveled path? So you may be wondering, what does that path look like? Is it paved with gold? Well, here's a hint. It's actually paved with purple. Northwestern University. Your road starts here.
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
Beat your midweek blues Wednesday with the balmy temperatures of 64 and 49. And take advantage while you can of Thursday's high of 68 and low of 46, since it will probably be the last warm weather for a while. And hold on to your hats on Friday. It'll be windy with a high of 55 and a low of 44. Pile on those purple layers for the homecoming game Saturday, since the high will be 51 with a low of 37. And it'll be sunny Sunday with a high of 57 and a low of 46. This has been Matthews Dunn with your 5-day weather forecast.
Northwestern is adjusting its sexual misconduct policies following a survey conducted over the summer. About 15% of the student body responded to the survey, and the results have students talking. NNN's Fallon Gallagher has the story.
In the Northwestern survey, 82% of undergraduate females report they think there's a chance they will encounter sexual misconduct while they are students here. The survey also shows that most people do not realize the importance of this issue.
I was kind of surprised by the level that people took the seriousness of the issue, so a lot of people didn't seem to think it was as serious as I think it is.
9% of women have reported sexual intercourse without consent, compared to only 2% of men. But only 7% of students have formally filed a report about the incidents. Sexual Health and Assault Peer Educators Communications Chair Amanda Odaz says there are two options for reporting, either to city or campus police.
The decision to report really is individual, and it really depends on the circumstance, but we do have great resources on campus, especially through CARE, for that type of advocacy to help people with the decision and help people decide what's best for them.
In response to the survey, Northwestern released a new sexual misconduct policy that elaborates on the definition of consent and reporting procedures. The survey showed that most students are unaware of the resources available for sexual assault survivors. The university and student groups are working together to raise awareness.
It's always about supporting the victim, putting power back into their situation, and recognizing that their situation is unique to them.
Men and women in groups like SHAPE and MARS, as well as university organizations like CARE and CAPS, will continue to provide support to victims.
I'm glad to see that it's in the national conversation and that it's a conversation on campus. There is always more work to be done, but we're happy to be here doing that work.
From Evanston, Fallon Gallagher, Northwestern News Network.
If you want to get involved in these efforts, applications for SHAPE will stay open through October 18th, and MARS will begin its programming soon.
Now to local news. Northwestern students will have a new way to relax after exams in the near future. The ramen craze has reached Evanston with a new restaurant, Table to Sticks. That's right, Evanston is getting its first official ramen restaurant on Davis Street. It will feature new twists on the classic dish. Diners will choose among 3 types of ramen with both Japanese and Korean style toppings and a variety of appetizers. Table to Sticks will open in the next few weeks, though there's no set date at this time.
And with the opening of Table to Sticks, we wanted to know what other new types of restaurants you'd like to see in Evanston in this week's edition of Rock Talk.
I'd love to have a cat cafe like the ones that they have in Japan, where it's just like a cafe and they have just a bunch of kittens.
Chinese food, just more Chinese food, like cheap takeout.
Yeah, I'd like to see a grocery store in Evanston closer to campus that's a little bit like less expensive than Whole Foods and a little bit more reasonable to shop at.
I'd love to see more bakeries in Evanston, particularly bakeries with good scones.
If you have an idea for a future Rock Talk topic, tweet at us at @NNN_news. And when we come back, how one Northwestern student explains that dancing through life isn't as easy as it seems.
We're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
Why spend your entire life looking for some on-ramp to the road to opportunity when there's already a well-traveled path? So you may be wondering, what does that path look like? Is it paved with gold? Well, here's a hint. It's actually paved with purple. Northwestern University. Your road starts here.
You know, Tal, I was thinking it must be so much fun to be a part of a dance group. Do you dance?
No, I don't. Do you?
No, but I really wish that I did. But I actually did have the chance to sit down with one Northwestern student who is part of a dance group on campus, and she says it's really fun, but a lot of work.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8.
Northwestern senior Neha Kumar started dancing at age 6, and for 15 years she's done everything from classical Indian to Western styles.
For me, it's like a form of self-expression, and it's
like of something that I always feel comfortable and like at home when I'm dancing.
Kumar feels most at home with NU's Bollywood dance team Anubhav. She joined in 2012 and is now one of 3 team captains.
Seeing my choreography and my ideas has been like brought to stage has been amazing. There's so much that you put into it, and seeing it come to life is like incredible.
So you're gonna go 1.
But Kumar says leading the team is a balancing act.
There are like times where you're just like at your lowest because like there's so many other things happening in all of our lives, and like to devote so much time and energy into this one thing is like draining sometimes.
Someone who does notice Kumar's dedication is Anubhav co-captain Nivas Thanu.
Seeing how much time like she put in compared to the year before, where just being like on the team rather than running it, it was a big difference.
Audience, down, up.
With graduation in sight, Kumar is hoping to have a career in business, but she has no plans to hang up her dancing shoes. Kumar and the rest of the Anubhav team are already gearing up for competition season next quarter.
It was a big weekend in the city as residents lace up their shoes for Chicago's annual marathon. NNN's Eric Miller has more.
45,000 runners, an expected 1.7 million spectators, and beautiful weather came together this weekend for the 38th annual Bank of America Chicago Marathon. The race drew people from over 100 countries and all 50 states to the Windy City.
I'm here from Colombia, Bogota, Colombia. The race was wonderful. The city is so beautiful.
This year's race was particularly important as top runners competed for the chance to qualify for the 2016 Rio Olympics. Runners at today's Chicago Marathon competed on a track that went everywhere from Pilsen to Chinatown to the North Shore. But the race began and ended here in Grant Park. Marathoners of every experience level competed, from first-timers to seasoned veterans.
This would make number 6, actually the 6th Chicago one, yeah. The atmosphere is always really nice. People are really friendly. It's always run real well, set up real well.
Friends and families of all kinds came together to cheer on the runners.
We're loving it. It's awesome. It's a great day. The weather's awesome. People are cheering. They're excited. It's a great race.
After the race, runners and spectators could enjoy the post-race party, which featured food and live music in Grant Park. For some, however, the best part of the race is standing strong with others.
My favorite part is when you hear the people who are watching cheering the other runners on when they're already like beaten. They don't have anyone out there cheering them on. You get to cheer them on. They get pepped up. It's inspirational. I love it. I love it.
For the Northwestern News Network, I'm Eric Miller.
Both the men's and the women's titles were taken by runners from Kenya. Dixon Chumba won the men's race, while Florence Kiplagat took the women's.
College can be a financial marathon for some students, but fortunately, help is on the way. Northwestern Student Enrichment Services is adding 3 new programs this year. Through the program, students receiving Pell Grants can borrow computers, get help buying winter clothes, and connect with other students in similar circumstances. The director of SES, Courtney Cockrell, says SES tries to give low-income and first-generation students a sense of belonging. Since SES started in 2014, the number of students taking advantage of the services has increased by 60%. About 44% of students at Northwestern receive need-based financial aid.
When we come back, we'll have your
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
At Northwestern, we're wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game.
Why spend your entire life looking for some on-ramp to the road to opportunity when there's already a well-traveled path? So you may be wondering, what does that path look like? Is it paved with gold? Well, here's a hint. It's actually paved with purple. Northwestern University. Your road starts here.
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
Welcome back. Now we turn to sports, and tonight we have Mike Marut with us. Mike, our Wildcat football team didn't do so hot this weekend.
No, they went up to Michigan to play the Wolverines, and it didn't go well throughout the whole game. First off, the offense stumbled, the defense crumbled, and special teams gave up the first score in their first shutout loss of the season and Michigan's third consecutive shutout win, taking victory 38-0. Noah Fromson has more.
Before taking the largest stage in college football Saturday, the feared Northwestern defense had given up an average of just over 7 points in each of its first 5 games. But after a 96-yard J.U. Chesson kickoff return for a touchdown on just the first play from scrimmage, Michigan grabbed hold of a momentum that would lead them to 14 more points in the first quarter, sending a message that Jim Harbaugh's squad was ready for the prime time.
I got to give a ton of credit to Michigan. I thought they played very well, and I'm absolutely ecstatic to see Jake Rudock graduate.
In a nearly flawless performance, the former Iowa quarterback went 17 of 23 for 179 yards and rushed for 1 touchdown. But it was the feisty Michigan defense that stole the show. They held Northwestern to just 168 total yards of offense in their 3rd straight shutout victory. The homecoming match with Iowa on October 17th will not be the battle of the undefeateds that Northwestern hoped for. However, the Big Ten West remains wide open for Fitzgerald's squad. From the Big House in Ann Arbor, I'm Noah Fromson, NNN Sports.
And on Saturday, Northwestern volleyball pulled off a stunning upset over 3rd-ranked Penn State, marking the Wildcats' first victory over the Nittany Lions since 2002. Sophomores Simone Abbott and Taylor Tashima led the charge for the Cats, Abbott with a match-high 17 kills, Tashima match-high 52 assists, putting her over 1,500 in that category in her career. And junior Kayla Maureen received 15 of those assists, notching her second double-double of the season with 15 kills and 14 digs. On Friday, the Cats will have another tough task as they take on the decorated coach John Cook and the now 3rd-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers. And the women's soccer team topped their total wins from 2014 this past weekend with their 1-0 victory over Michigan State, behind the steady hands of goalie Lauren Clem, who had 7 saves in that game. Cats are now 10-3 and 2 ties overall. Moving from the soccer field to the tennis court, redshirt sophomore Maddie Lipp and true sophomore Alex Chat claimed the doubles draw consolation title at the Riviera Women's All-American Tennis Championships in California over the weekend. With the victory, the duo has earned a spot in the doubles draw for the Intercollegiate Tennis Association Indoor Championships in New York this November. And of course, looking ahead to homecoming weekend, where the Wildcats will be taking on the Hawkeyes of Iowa, of course. They'll have some new jerseys, some throwbacks to the 1995 football team. Pat Fitzgerald played linebacker. They went to the Rose Bowl. So hopefully those jerseys will help them get the victory over Iowa.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see those jerseys on the field. Thanks, Mike.
Absolutely.
When we come back, one alum shines in Broadway in Chicago. How Northwestern helped her do it.
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
fine we will be. We will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for the sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Why spend your entire life looking for some on-ramp to the road to opportunity when there's already a well-traveled path? So you may be wondering, what does that path look like? Is it paved with gold? Well, here's a hint. It's actually paved with purple. Northwestern University. Your road starts here.
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
Northwestern's theater program is famous for its musical theater certificate, and now one Northwestern alum is showing exactly how you can use it. From the 1998 WAMU show to Broadway in Chicago, NNN's Jordan Tilley has more.
Taryn Renault grew up in Chicago with a love of theater.
I used to watch The Sound of Music on rote when I was like 5 on a VHS.
And that brought her to Northwestern's theater program. She was drawn in by its prestige, its professors, and its opportunities. But more than anything,
I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the one that says, in 1847, nothing happened here. And I loved that rock, and I just loved the sense of humor that it had.
Renault says the opportunity she gained from the musical theater certificate program laid the groundwork for her future and helped her make some memories along the way.
I remember auditioning for the music theater program and seeing Dominic Missimi's eyes light up when I was singing.
And now Renault is excited to bring her talents back here to Chicago in the Broadway Playhouse in Unspeakable, about the life of comedian Richard Pryor.
My role in Unspeakable is extremely challenging for me, which I welcome.
And Renault isn't the only one who shines.
It's so fun to work with James every night. He's wonderful. I can't wait for people to see him playing Richard Pryor.
But the reason she's most excited to be back?
I haven't succumbed to all of my deep dish and stuffed pizza fantasies yet. I look forward to doing that maybe on an upcoming day off or once the show has closed.
Jordan Tilley, Northwestern News Network.
Unspeakable opened tonight at the Broadway Playhouse and is running through October 25th. And that's all we have for you tonight. I'm Orko Manna.
I'm Mike Marut for sports.
And I'm Tal Axelrod. Thanks for watching.